Hi, my name's Hannah and I'm part of Emmanuel Church London, and I've got the privilege of carrying on the Bitesize Bible study that we've been doing over the last few weeks. This Sunday we looked at the theme of giving in the preach, and so we're going to be carrying that on today. And we're going to be looking at a story in the book of Mark in the Bible. Mark is one of the four Gospels which give the account of Jesus's life while he was here on earth, and his death and resurrection. And so we're going to be looking at one of those stories and seeing what we can learn from Jesus and what the Bible says about giving. So we're going to be looking at Mark chapter 12 and then verses 41 through to 44, which I will now read out. And he sat down opposite the treasury, and he is Jesus in this story. And he sat down opposite the treasury and watched the people putting money into the offering box. Many rich people put in large sums, and a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which make a penny. And he called his disciples to him and said to them, "Truly, I say to you, this poor widow has put in more than all of those who are contributing to the offering box. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." And just as I've been thinking over this story over the last few weeks, there's just been a few different things that have really stuck out to me that I just want to share with you, which will hopefully be an encouragement to you today. And the first is Jesus's approach to this. I think the thing that I notice is that giving, and what we're giving into the church, or the temple in this case, is really important to him. He deliberately has sat himself down by the offering box to see what was happening, to see what people were putting in. And he's not looking to see who puts in the biggest amount. He's not looking to see who puts in the smallest amount. And we see kind of in his response, actually what he's looking for is the heart of those that are giving into the temple, the heart and what it is that's driving them to want to give. And I think we see that it's really important that he wants his disciples to hear and understand this message. They are off doing something else, and he calls them over to him to make sure that they see what's happened and understand the importance of what's happened. Quite often, a lot of the other teachings we see, Jesus, someone asks him a question and he's responding to it, but this is initiated by him. And so I think the first thing that we can take is the lessons that he's got in this, and what he wants to teach is really important. And secondly then, from the widow, I think the first thing that struck me is that she is giving into the temple. She's giving into the work of God. She's given into what's representing the place where God dwells on earth in the temple, and she sees the importance of giving into God's work. And I think that's really important for us. She could have given into many different causes. She's a widow herself. There could have been other widows who have need. There could be orphan children she could have given to. There could have been lots of different causes. But with everything that she has, she chooses to give it into the work of God. And I think that's really important for us. There are lots of different charities. There are lots of different needs. There are lots of different things that we can give our money into. And that's not to say that we shouldn't, but first and foremost, we need to be giving into the work of God, because that is the hope of all the world. That Jesus's hope and his call to us as his disciples is to build the church, and that's how he is going to extend his kingdom on earth. And therefore for us it's really important to be giving into the work of God and giving into the church first, before we are giving into all of those different things. And I think that's really important for us to learn. I think the second thing that I see is that she gave out of faith. I think sometimes in our culture, in the society that we live in, the expectation would be that you would give when you've got enough. That when I've got enough for me, or when I've got enough plus a little bit, then that's the time that I should start giving, and that's the time that I should start giving to the church or to other charities or to anything. But actually this woman doesn't wait until she has enough. She takes everything that she has and she gives it to God's work. She gives it to God. And I think that's really key, because it's hard for widows to have made money in those days. They weren't able to just go out and get work in the same way that they would have been able to. It would have been hard for her to access being able to get other resources and other funds. But she trusts that if she gives everything that she has, that God will provide for her. And that's where she wants to put her money, and that's where she wants to put her faith and her trust, not in what she has today, but trusting that God will give her everything that she needs if she gives into his work. And so I think there's a real few important things that we can take away here, that Jesus's heart is that he wants us to see the importance of giving and the importance that he places on it, because it shows so much about our heart and where our faith and when our trust is. And also the importance of giving into the church and giving into the work of God. I hope that's been helpful. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.